Good evening, everybody. My name is Derek, author and webmaster of www.gematrinator.com. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the numerology of the death of fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld, who passed away earlier today at the age of 85. Before I get too far, just let me show the base 4 methods of Gematria that are featured on the screen when you log in to gematrinator.com. These 4 methods, the most simple in Gematria. This practice of coding numbers into words dates back to the Hebrew and Greek languages, but as it turns out, it's very much alive and well here in English. English ordinal numbers each letter 1 through 26 relative to its position in the alphabet. We also have the reduction method, also called Pythagorean Gematria, which reduces each double-digit number to a single digit. Both methods can then be reversed for complementary methods called reverse ordinal and reverse reduction. We'll also touch on the large number ciphers, English extended, structured similarly to Hebrew Gematria and Greek isopsephy with large numbers. And then there's Jewish or Latin Gematria, also very significant to this day, and we'll touch on these as we go. To begin with, I want to point out that this man, Karl Lagerfeld, was born Karl Lagerfeld, spelled with a T at the end. In the reduction cipher, this sums to 60. The date on which he died, February 19th, 2019, 2 plus 19 plus 20 plus 19 equals 60, just like his name at birth. However, he wound up changing his name to Karl Otto Lagerfeld. Now, what's interesting about this name is that in Satanic Gematria, it sums to 777. Satanic Gematria built around the number 666, which is the 36th triangular number. Count every number 1 through 36, it equals 666. This cipher begins on the number 36, and in it, Satanic Gematria equals 666. His name summing to 777 in this method is significant. 777 is the Jewish Gematria value of order out of chaos. In that same method, the phrase numeric ritual equals 777. Order out of chaos is one of Freemasonry's primary mottos. You'll see in Latin it's written ordo ab chao. That phrase sums to 46 in reduction. In English, the word chaos equals 46 in ordinal. Now in reduction, chaos equals 19, and I urge everybody who's watching this video to listen to your television closely if you do watch TV. You'll hear the word chaos just way too many times. It's being overused everywhere, it seems. And that's because we're in the year 2019, with the chaos president, Donald Trump, causing all kinds of controversy in the White House. The date on which Lagerfeld died is also the same date as a supermoon, which equals 46. In Hebrew, the word for kill equals 19 and 46. So not only did Lagerfeld die on the 19th day of the month in the year 19, but today's date, 2/19/2019, also falls exactly 19 weeks before the next total solar eclipse. If you're not familiar with my work, I explain in most of my videos regarding death that this code of sacrifice comes from the Bible and the New Testament, where Jesus was crucified under a solar eclipse. It's said that Jesus was crucified at age 33. The word eclipse in the reduction method equals 33. The word solar eclipse equals 190 in the reverse order. And because of the Metonic cycle, we often get a solar eclipse exactly 19 years to the day after a previous one. And think about when the moon begins to cover up the sun, it creates a vesica Piscis. This also sums to 190 in reverse. So we're talking a lot about the number 19. Well, if you multiply 19 times 19, you get 361. The name Karl Otto Lagerfeld, using Frank Baconus gematria, equals 361. This cipher is similar to the alphabetic order. However, it uses both capital and small letters. And what do you know? Karl Otto Lagerfeld equals 361, which is 19 squared. In regards to Lagerfeld dying in relation to an eclipse, eclipse equals 33. The date on which he died has a life lesson number of 33, and he was born in the year 33. Also summing to 33 in reduction is the word masonry. The 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite of Masonry is said to be the highest. I'm not just going to look at this post. Before the end of the video, we're also going to look at the death of France Gall, who was the last celebrity to die in the American Hospital of Paris, where Karl Lagerfeld allegedly passed away earlier today. Now, in many of my videos, I talk about how the gematria of someone's profession in front of their common name is very significant in many cases. Here, we're talking about fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld. Notice the reduction values of 139 and 158. These are the same values as Freemasonry, 139 and 158. In reduction, Karl Lagerfeld equals 58. The word Freemasonry equals 58 in reduction as well. In regards to the 139, look at the name of the hospital he died in. American Hospital of Paris sums to 139 in reverse reduction, and we'll look at the rest of these numbers in a minute. Lagerfeld was born on the date September 10th, which means that on the date he died, he was 5 months, 9 days after his birthday. Notice how in reverse, Freemasonry equals 59. The 59th prime number is 277. In the reverse alphabetic order, Karl Otto Lagerfeld equals 277. Freemasonry also summing to 277 in that Frank Baconus method we discussed earlier. 59 and 277. So this 277 seems to be significant. Freemasonry, Lagerfeld, they share this value, the 59th prime. He died 5 months, 9 days after his birthday. There's one date that can be extracted from the number 277. That would be the 27th of July, or 27/7. If you measure from the date that Lagerfeld died to July 27th, you get 5 months, 8 days, or 5 months, 9 days with the end date included. Again, Freemasonry equals 58 and 59. Karl Lagerfeld, 58. This same measurement of time is also 158 days, or a span of 159 days. Freemasonry equals 158. And remember, it's the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry that's headquartered in Washington, D.C. Scottish Rite equals 159. Lagerfeld's name at birth even has alignments with Freemasonry. Notice how his name in English extended with the T at the end sums to 1039, like how Freemasonry sums to 139. His common name, Karl Lagerfeld, summing to 58 and 319. 319, another number associated with Freemasonry. Freemasonic equals 319 in Jewish. The word Masonic in Satanic Gematria, which we touched on earlier, sums to 319 as well. Including the end date, Lagerfeld died 163 days after his birthday. 163 is a prime number. That would be the 38th prime number. the words death, murder, and killing, all with gematria values of 38 in the base methods. So now let's move on to a discussion about the American Hospital of Paris. And let's discuss what this hospital is really being used for, what's going on. You'll notice on their Wikipedia page, there's a section of notable patients who died in the hospital. And you can browse through this list, and maybe you'll recognize a couple of these names. Probably not. But let's look at the bottom of the list. First of all, we have Karl Lagerfeld, who passed away at this hospital today, February 19th, 2019. The most recent death prior to Lagerfeld at this hospital was France Gall. France Gall was a French singer, born in Paris, France, also died in Paris, France. And she passed away last year on the date January 7th. And when you compare the numerology of France Gall and Karl Lagerfeld, you end up with some wild synchronicities. I just did a video on Doug Flutie's dropkick from 2006. These synchronicities here are similar to what you notice with Doug Flutie and Ray McLean, who kicked the last dropkick prior to Flutie in 1941. First of all, American Hospital of Paris. Notice how this photograph here is from the year 2011. The phrase ritual human sacrifice equals 211. That on its own could very well be a coincidence, but there's a lot more to this. When you write out American Hospital of Paris, as it's called, using the alphabetic order, it sums to 248. In the reverse alphabetic order, the phrase human sacrifice equals 248. In reverse, American Hospital of Paris equals 373. And this is a special number right here. 373 is the 74th prime number. The words Masonic equals 74, so does the word killing 74. And today we got news of the death of Karl Otto Lagerfeld, which sums to 74 in the reduction method. What about American Hospital of Paris in Jewish gematria? Here we find an 803. Well, that's not any more comforting than the other numbers. The word murder equals 83 in the reverse alphabetic order. This hospital in Paris was founded in 1906. That means when France Gall died, they just began their 113th year of operation. When Karl Lagerfeld died, they've been operating for 113 years. In reduction, American Hospital of Paris equals 113. This value also present in extended gematria. 113 is the ordinal gematria of the word Scottish. 113 also appears to be the primary number of deception. So keep in mind, when I say all these celebrities are dying by the numbers, it's possible they're also just leaving the world stage and not actually dying. However, I do believe it's a mix of real-life sacrifice, real-life death by the numbers, and occasionally a fake death as well. Right up top, the first number mentioned after the year in which this hospital was established is 187. 187, the number of beds it has in the hospital. Well, that's funny because Paris, France equals 187 using the reverse alphabetic order. In the reduction method, ancient accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry, also with this 187 value. Of course, we probably understand by now that Freemasonry's logo has the capital G in the middle of the compass and square. Remember Frank Baconus, this cipher we looked at earlier, which uses both capital and small letters? In this method, a capital G equals 13. And to me, this is one of the big reasons why 13 is so frequently attributed in these stories. Of course, 13 is a significant number to the moon as well. The United States Congress recognized the American Hospital of Paris on the date January 30th, 1913. The date written 1/30/13, like 1313. And this is where the shit gets really weird, guys. Franz Gall died on January 7th of 2018. Measuring to today's date, when Karl Lagerfeld died, it's a span of exactly 13 months and 13 days. Now, if you multiply 13 times 13, you get 169. Franz Gall and Karl Lagerfeld were born a span of exactly 169 months apart. On the date that Franz Gall died, she was exactly 13 weeks after her birthday. 13 weeks, also 91 days. 91 is the 13th triangular number. The neighborhood this hospital is located in sums to 91 with the S exception. And then Karl Lagerfeld, who passed away today, was born on September 10th, written 9/10. In the alphabetic order, the name Franz Gall equals 79. The word murder equals 79. And when Franz Gall died, she was 70 years, 90 days old, just like the number 79. I also want to point out that in English gematria, Franz Gall equals 223. This is the gematria of Masonic in Jewish. 223, also a prime number. This would be the 48th prime number. And these two celebrities died 408 days apart. Real quickly, again, this numerology largely centered around the moon. In Hebrew gematria, the word for the moon has a value of 223. There's 223 lunar phases in the Saros cycle, which allows us to predict the next lunar or solar eclipse. Again, 223 is the 48th prime number. Think about the Latin name for the moon, Luna. Luna equals 48. These deaths were also both measured up to the total solar eclipses of recent times. So here we have Franz Gall. She died 139 days after the most recent total solar eclipse, which was the Great American Eclipse of 2017. Remember, Freemasonry equals 139. So does American Hospital of Paris, and that's where she died 139 days after the eclipse. In Hebrew gematria, using the ordinal method, the phrase total solar eclipse has a value of 109. Franz Gall was born on October 9th, written 10/9. Also interesting that this birthday can be written 9/10 in light of the fact that Karl Lagerfeld was born on September 10th, also written 9/10. Measuring from the date of that Great American Eclipse to the date that Franz Gall died, we also find that this was 19 weeks. Again, she was born on 10/9, like 19. And then when Karl Lagerfeld died, he died exactly 19 weeks before the next total solar eclipse. Recall, there were no total solar eclipses between 2017 and this coming July. I also talked about how there was an order out of chaos ritual in relation to Karl Lagerfeld's death, both of these having a numeric value of 777. Well, look at the numerology of the date Franz Gall died, 19 and 46. The Hebrew word for kill equals 19 and 46. In English, the word chaos, 19 and 46. One more look at satanic gematria. American Hospital of Paris has this value of 1053. And this stood out immediately to me earlier today because we had the death of a fashion designer, which sums to 153. This fashion designer was born in Hamburg, Germany, which equals 153. And he worked for Chanel SA, which equals 153 in reverse. 153 is not a prime number. However, it is a triangular number. If you add every number up 1 through 17, it equals 153. Franz Gall died on the date 1/7, January 7th. It was also a date with 17 numerology, 1 plus 7 plus 1 plus 8. The word kill, 17 in reduction. And there's one more thing I want to look at, guys, before I wrap this up. First, look at how France equals 29 and 115. This is the same as Masonic, 29, 115. As far as the 47, the alphabetic order value of France, Franz Gall was born in the year 47. But notice how Masonic equals 43. This is the same as the word killing, 43. Franz Gall and Karl Lagerfeld were born a span of 14 years and 30 days apart. And then Gall proceeded to die 1 year and 43 days before Lagerfeld. Remember, when we're talking about eclipses, we're talking about the circle. In eclipse equals 69. It's the intersection of the two largest circles in the sky. Circles equals 69. In Hebrew gematria, the word for circle, ma'agul, sums to 143. This number showing up in both the measurements between their births and the measurements between their deaths. So this is the gematria of the word for circle. Well, in the alphabetic order, in English, circle equals 50. And check out how this circle ritual ended on 2/19/2019, which is the 50th day of the year. A little bit more on the number 43, however, which is in the gematria of Masonic and killing, also found in these durations. The 43rd prime number is 191. The name Franz Gall in the reverse alphabetic order equals 191, and her name sums to 43 in reduction. But then look what happens when you add Karl Lagerfeld to her name. 430 in the reverse alphabetic order, like 43, and 191, the 43rd prime in ordinal. Also, notice the 133 in reverse reduction. Karl Lagerfeld died today exactly 133 days before the eclipse. So, how flippin' obvious is it what they're doing? People still sometimes find my work and call it a coincidence. It's a joke. I mean, it's pretty clear what this hospital is here for. Whether or not they're killing real people by the numbers, I have no idea. I mean, it could be, like I said, these celebrities aren't even dying, but something very crooked nonetheless going on here at this Masonic institution. All right, so thanks to everybody who was jumping in on the live stream. I think this might be my 4th already today. I got a couple more for you, so stay tuned, stick around on the channel, and we'll give you a little more news by the numbers. We're going to talk about Bernie Sanders launching his campaign today. We're also going to talk about this missing Mexican businesswoman who was found decapitated. Yeah, it's not exactly warm fuzzies here on this channel, is it? All right, truth seekers. We'll see you in the next video. See ya!